Hi, this is Richard Blade, and you're listening to the Blue Zone Podcast Network as it presents Permanent Record, an in-depth look at the classic albums of the 70s and 80s, albums which have earned a permanent place of honor, both in our hearts and in our record collections.
Permanent Record Podcast, we're back in the studio and coming at you with some Duran Duran Rio action.
Yes, we are.
You can tell I'm pumped.
I can.
You can tell that I am pumped.
You are very excited.
Folks, my name is Brian.
And I am Sarah.
And we are going to jump right back into discussing side one of Duran Duran's classic album, Rio, as soon as we take care of a little bit of business.
That's right.
So What do you have for us, Sarah?
We need to talk about Sarah's secret song snippet star of the week.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. Our last episode, we played a little song snippet at the end of the episode, and we had quite a few people respond in a very short period of time.
We did. It was awesome.
Yeah, so that was really cool. It's nice to know people are downloading the episode and playing it like right away. And also that they got the song right away. The winner this time was Heath Grannis, and he correctly guessed that the song was Election Day and the group was Arcadia.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah, so kind of, and he said it was kind of on the nose. I said, yeah, it was kind of on the nose, little spin-off group from Duran Duran. It just seemed appropriate. So congratulations to Heath.
Yes, and Heath, in honor of you, we're not having a song snippet this week.
Right.
Because on Wednesday, I needed to have posted your name as the winner with the little official graphic.
Yeah.
And it slipped my mind because of a particular DC comic book that came out on Wednesday, and that was totally focused on this new DC comic series. And I forgot all about it. So you've got to get your time in the spotlight.
That's right.
So this week we will post that. I'll post it tomorrow, and you'll get to enjoy a week.
As
a
the
week's
star,
worth of recognition as the Sarah Song Snippet Star of the Week.
Right. Yeah. We owe it to you for that little moment in the sun.
That's right. So thanks for playing, everybody. We appreciate it. So we're going to jump right back into Rio, waste no more time. And in fact, I think, Sarah, you have a little bit of information that's going to finish up the actual song Rio from last time, and then we'll get into song number 2.
That's correct. Yeah. Something I forgot to mention last time, but this will make a nice transition into the next episode. We've talked before a lot about songs that have made it into commercials or groups that have made it into commercials.
Right.
In the 80s. That
like
seemed
the Thompson Twins with
the
Pepsi commercial, or
That's
was it Coke?
Right. It was Pepsi, yeah. So I found out that the song Rio was kind of the inspiration for a commercial in 1986 from the brand Saison.
Oh.
Yes, ooh la la.
Yeah, makes me think of shopping at the Gap.
Really?
Well, no, not really. I'm just trying to think of some clothing store that would have been around at that point.
Yeah, that's for sure. The Gap was around. So there was a Saison commercial from 1986, and Simon Le Bon was in it. And it was definitely inspired by the Rio video. Now, the music is not, they don't use the song Rio, but it is clearly, there's a Rio vibe going along.
They decided instead to use like terrible music.
Yeah, the music is not good.
Yeah.
So they're out on a yacht and they're sailing and they're having a grand time, just like in the video. It's all about Saison.
Yep.
And the boat has a big Saison sail on it. Yeah, so it's...
And aren't they actually like replicating some of the camera shots from...
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, they did a good job of that, but it's a real cheesy.
It's pretty terrible.
And I could only find one instance of it on YouTube. We'll post that link on our webpage so you can go check it out if you'd like.
That sounds cool. All right, so that finishes up Rio and brings us up to song number 2 on side 1.
Correct.
And this is a song, last time we talked about the interesting release schedule of the album and that first single, Rio. This is another song that has a crazy release history.
That's right.
And we'll talk about that. But the first song we're going to talk about today, track number 2, is a song called My Own Way.
Super funky. I like that version.
Yeah, me too. This is a great song. And I'm just going to read the very first thing that I have here in my notes.
Okay.
Just going to read it verbatim.
Okay.
Released as a single on 16.
16 what?
I have no
16
idea.
different labels?
I don't know what that means.
On 16.
I just looked down and saw that, and I'm like, what does that even mean?
I think you might have forgotten some parts of that sentence.
Yeah.
I don't even know what day it was released, but I don't think the 16th was that day.
Pretty lame. Pretty lame of me.
Yeah. Are you sure we're ready to talk about this episode? Are you prepared?
Well, let me tell you this, Sarah. This
Okay.
single was designed as a stopgap release to capitalize on the band's success that they had with the previous single, Girls on Film.
That's
From
right.
the first album, but prior to the recording of this album. So they didn't want to lose that momentum
No.
that they had picked up in the UK with that successful single. So they rushed into the studio and put this out long before the album.
Right.
And it was a pretty sizable hit. In Ireland, it peaked at number 20. In the UK, number 14. Australia, number 10. Last
Yeah.
week you mentioned that early on they had a lot of fans in Australia.
Right.
So this one was top 10 there. And
Yeah.
in Portugal,
Yes.
hit number 1.
Indeed it did.
So, and of course, because of their inability to get a hit off that first album in the US, we didn't
Yeah.
even get this song as a
No,
single.
they didn't even try. They didn't
No.
even bother.
They did not. But the single has often been cited by the band as being one of their least favorite songs.
Yep, I saw that as well.
And has rarely been played live, which I think is disappointing because I really like this song.
Yeah, I like this version of the song.
Yeah. The reason you say that is because you're saying you like the album version of the song.
I do,
My
and
Own
it is
Way.
the one I'm more used to because that's the one I've heard more.
Right,
'Cause
same here.
We didn't get the single.
Right. And the single version was very different,
Oh, yeah.
very disco-y.
Oh, yes.
And it had like strings that take you back to the mid to late 70s and things. So we have a little sample of it here just to
Yeah.
give you a taste of it. This is the original version of My Own Way. Check it out.
Wow, check out those disco strings.
Yeah, they're awesome. And
Yeah.
if you listen to that song the whole way through,
Yeah.
you're going to be so pumped up and so high energy.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take a disco biscuit to calm yourself down.
Yeah, that's right. Good reference.
Thanks.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
Yeah, those strings were arranged by Richard Myhill and Duran Duran. They helped with that. But yeah, the beats per minute on that song much higher than the version on the album, and it's just so much more energy. It just seems like you're in a panic almost.
I know,
It's
yep.
just like almost tense, just how much faster and energetic it is.
Yeah, like you're in a girl panic.
Yeah, nicely done.
I'm just coming up with all these pulls to
I
to
know.
things.
Yeah, very good.
So
What-
do you have any old reviews of this one?
I do have one from Smash Hits, of course, 1981. Unfortunately, I don't have the name of the reviewer, and I don't know exactly when it was out, but it was when the single came out. So the reviewer says, Duran Duran can't decide whether Their Own Way is funk, futurist, Euro disco, or mid-70s art rock. I can't decide whether I like this or not. The chorus is a winner, though. So I don't know who wrote that. The little snippet I found didn't have the beginning part of the page where it shows who does the reviews. So
Yeah. Well, based on his apathetic attitude towards the song, it's probably that same guy.
David Rimmer.
Yep.
Yeah, most likely.
I have a one sentence comment on this song from that website I was talking about last time, theyoungfolks.com.
Oh, right,
that
yeah.
I really enjoyed their write up.
Yeah.
This song, they just briefly touched on it. They said, My Own Way ends with Simon Le Bon shouting phrases over a pulsing guitar melody in an endearing yet slightly dumb manner.
Yeah, he does. He goes off and kind of does all these riffs at the end, and it's like, what are you even saying? It's like some of those things, like, does he say 45? Because it
Yeah.
sounds like he does.
I think he does. He says, I'm on 45 between 6th and Broadway.
Oh,
I think he's
okay.
saying. And then he says 7 Up on 6th and Broadway.
Okay. One thing I want to say about the single that I do like is the cover, the single sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And did you get to see that at all anywhere?
If I did, I don't recall it.
Okay. Well, it looks kind of like a woodcut print of a matador in a bowl, and it's kind of like a burgundy
Oh, I
or
did see that.
reddish.
Yeah.
And that was done by Malcolm Garrett and Peter Saville.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Another thing about the initial printing of the single, they used a gold Duran Duran logotype that was later replaced with a blue Duran 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 logotype. So if you have that special early version, you've got something really good.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Now, the other cool thing is the 12-inch single in the UK came with a message from the band.
No way. What was it? Buy more records?
Yeah, it was etched into the runout groove. And the message was, shake that doty groove thag. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, doty, D-O-T-I-E. And
What
then,
does that mean?
I don't know. And then thag.
Well, I've seen bands give better messages before.
Yeah, I don't think that was their finest message ever.
Can I tell you what John Taylor said about this song in his book?
Yeah, please do.
His book, of course, In the Pleasure Groove, Love, Death, and Duran Duran by John Taylor. He says, my own way was as close to pure disco as we would get, sounding like something from the early sessions that we did with Andy Wickett.
Ah.
Musically, the little bit that I listened to them last week on YouTube, I can sort of see that.
Okay.
And he says, we were aspiring to the musicianship we were hearing on American R&B records, but our level of playing was not quite there. The single version has more than a whiff of Michael Jackson as it would sound if played by a group of young punks.
Michael Jackson music being played by young punks.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I can sort of see that.
Actually, I thought that was a pretty good description because it was so fast. It was faster than disco should be.
Correct. Yes.
You know, it just had an energy that was spastic.
It was. Yeah, spastic. Yeah. Just frenetic and just crazy.
I saw John comment in 2003 when they were on the reunion tour with Astronaut, and Australia newspaper there called the Herald Sun asked them about this song, like, why don't you do this song anymore? Because, you know, and like we said, in Australia, it was a number 10 song.
Yeah.
And John Taylor said, not a favorite. We were doing it in a medley with Some Like It Hot for a while. Not a favorite.
Yeah. They're just not real keen on it.
Yeah.
It's fine. I like it. And again, I like the album version. What interests me, what surprises me is that the difference between the single version and the album version is really, really significant. Unlike some of these other songs, I think this one has the biggest difference between
definitely.
the single, the original version, you could say, and the Kirschenbaum remix. And I'm really surprised they did not try to re-release this, or at least release it in America.
Well, I guess because the band didn't like it, they wanted to focus on other songs.
I guess that must have been it.
But I really like this song. I think that it's one of the best songs on the record. I enjoy it. And one thing I do like about it is the very rock and roll sound on the intro of the UK album version.
Okay.
It starts like this. So you get those chords being played on the guitar sound very raw,
right.
Cool bass and heavy drums,
right?
And it all, you know, it doesn't sound like hard rock, but it's very rockish, I think.
Yeah, and there's a little more space involved. I think it's more empty, and so it kind of just feels more raw.
And then when we got the Carnival EP and they remixed it for American audiences, this is what it became.
Okay. Okay, so we get that keyboard line over the top there, that soaring kind of sound, and then a little more melodic guitar in there too.
And it's like, you know, as we listen to this album, I think we're going to figure out really fast that everyone in Duran Duran plays a part on every song. And we're going to get a ton of songs that have a very distinct keyboard synth line being played over top of guitars.
Right.
So what we just heard, you're going to hear 5 songs worth of that on this album on the first side.
Right.
And so I actually liked that on the UK version for the first 15 seconds or so, we get a break from that.
Yeah, they let somebody kind of shine and take the center stage.
Right, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And so I really do like that UK intro better than the Carnival.
Okay, fair enough.
But I do have to admit it's more radio friendly for the time.
That's true.
Of 1982 or 83.
So the song was written in May of 1981 because, again, they were capitalizing on the success of Girls on Film. So it was one of the earlier songs. Here's another example of my misheard lyrics.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if he was saying air race or air raids. And I think I had a legitimate reason to think he said air raids because Simon is famously quoted as saying, "We want to be the band to dance to when the bomb drops."
That's right, yeah.
So I thought, well, you know, he could have been talking about air raids. You know, it goes with bombs and stuff.
Right.
But no, it really is air race, which is good. It's a lot more innocuous. I like that better.
All right, we touched on it briefly, the components there in the beginning of the song. Let's talk about the components that make up the entire song.
Sure.
This is one where I think the rhythm section, much like on Rio, the rhythm section really shines again. Roger Taylor, the drummer, is offering up a really exciting, crisp, and punchy drum track that I think is very popish and is high energy and pulls you in as a listener.
Yeah, I
I think it
that's...
demands your attention.
Yep.
And the slap bass that John
Yes.
is playing to perfect effect
Yes.
with that drum
Yes.
is just incredible. And the backbone of this song is, a really strong foundation. And that's, I think, part of the reason why I like this one so much.
Yeah.
Because just the basic core of the song sounds awesome.
Right. And we get that, right? Especially in the one version, we get that slap bass right away, and it just draws you in. I love that slap bass.
Yeah. Now, the synths in here, I think, are a little bit overpowering. I just keep in mind when it was recorded. And having said that, I really do enjoy the sounds that Nick is using here in this song and what he's playing. I think it sounds awesome. With headphones on and turned up loud, it's a lot of sonic information coming at you. Guitar-wise, I love the guitar sounds in the chorus. They're very different than what Andy is playing in the verses, but it works perfectly, I think, with the song. In the verses, it's just those chords that we just kind of stressed here in the beginning there, in the intro. He plays those through the verses. But then in the chorus, we get a much more sonically pleasing kind of fingerstyle.
A little more complicated, just a little more going on there.
Like Rio, I think this track is pretty close to a perfect mix of guitars and synths. The guitar is almost a bit glam rock in the tracks that we've heard so far. And with, the band having Bowie and Roxy Music as their influences, that shouldn't be a surprise.
No.
I really like what they're doing. This great job of combining those sensibilities with this 80s synth movement. It's 1982, so this is very early on.
It's on the cusp. It's kind of just bridging that gap between the 70s and the 80s.
Yep, and they are leading the way, leading the charge, and showing, I think, a lot of people this is the direction that we're going to head, with this movement.
Right.
And people at the time probably wouldn't want to admit to the fact that they were following the lead of Duran Duran. But I think, now as we're in the 21st century, there are plenty of acts that go out of their way to cite Duran Duran as influences and talk about how musically sound they really are as an act.
Correct. Yeah. They are definitely known now as an influence for many, many artists and bands.
Simon, what do you think about Simon on this song?
Oh, he's fine. He's good. A little bit of whine going on, but not too much.
A little bit of whine. I think he does a pretty great job in this. He avoids much of the whining I said that we were picking on him for last time. And I think his weakness in this song, if there's anything, is just singing those silly things that we were talking about. Like
that riffing.
7 Up between 6th and Broadway. I'm on 45.
Yeah, that part is probably the weakest part of the song.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
I'm
not really criticizing him for that.
We could do without it, but it's not hurting the song.
Right. I'm just looking for something to pick nits about.
Yeah.
So if that's the worst problem of the song, that's not too bad.
Right.
So unlike the band, I love this song. Like I said, I think it's one of the best tracks on the album. It has great energy, great production, a pretty awesome mix of sounds. Like I said, maybe a little bit too much loudness in the synth, and some great vocals. Lyrically, it's nothing special, but it's not anything terrible either.
No. So, we're going to talk about the video now.
Before we get to the video, I just wanted to talk about the lyrics that only Simon would write for this song.
Oh, right. Yes, you have that little feature now with this album. Every song, you pick out some lyrics that only Simon would write.
That's right.
Okay.
And this time, I only found one line really that seems Simonish to me, and it's that first line. I saw you at the air race yesterday. April showers, get out of my way.
Yeah, that is sort of funny.
Yep. So that was the only thing I could find on this one.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the video. You want to lead the charge on that?
Because this video goes with the single, it's filmed early. This is an older video. It was directed by Russell Mulcahy, and it was filmed at St. John's Wood, London. Unlike most of the videos that we'll see, what we saw for Rio and then the other videos, this is just in a sound stage. This is just a set. This
just
is
a
performance
video with some dancers.
Yeah, but it's still very entertaining and very fun to watch. We got lots of black, white, and red in this video. All kinds of thematic colors in this video because Simon's in a leather jacket with a red headband and other members are wearing tuxes with red carnations. And then we see a matador. We have women in red flamenco dresses. And so it works very well together. It's all very unified. So let's talk about the matador.
Oh, yes, let's do that.
He shows up kind of early on and he's, doing his thing. He is somebody, I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but It's a young Adrian Paul.
That's right, the actor who would go on to play the lead in the Highlander television show.
Right, which was based on the Highlander movie series, which was directed by this video director, Russell Mulcahy.
That's right. So I don't think Russell ever directed any of the television show.
I don't think so either.
I know that Connor McLeod, the film character, appeared in the very first episode, but I think it was just the television director. But it is still a really neat just quirk of fate, I guess.
I know.
That's someone who would play a Highlander for many years. That series was pretty long-lived.
It was. It lasted, several years.
So it's funny that he got cast in this. It's also funny as someone who played a matador myself.
Oh, that's right.
In the theater.
That's right. You did.
It's interesting to know that Adrian Paul and I come from a similar place.
Yes. You have something in common. I'm sure when you meet him, you can talk about that.
Yes, we can.
Oh, I hope you post those pictures now.
Well, maybe I will.
Oh.
Maybe I'll put a matador picture of me in the show notes.
Yeah, you next to Adrian Paul, like a picture of Adrian Paul and a picture of you.
Well, I don't want to embarrass him. I'm going to look a little more masculine than him.
Yeah. Well, speaking of masculine, how about all the makeup on the guys in this one? They really tarted John up, didn't they?
Yeah, that's how those early videos were from the first album, the new romantic videos and stuff.
Yeah.
That's going to kind of calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
For most people, I think Nick is going to keep doing it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Nick is all about that.
I didn't notice the makeup nearly as much as I noticed the terrible headband on Simon. I hate headbands, and they keep insisting in these early videos that headbands are awesome.
They do wear a lot of headbands.
That's one of the red items in this video. It's the headband.
That's right. Yeah, we see that especially when Simon is like crawling around on the floor.
Yeah.
It's like called close up. Yeah, it's, oh my gosh, this video is really interesting. Now we have to talk about the bird.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if it's a parrot or a parakeet.
I thought it was a parrot.
Okay, I think it is a parrot because it's kind of big. I think parakeets are pretty small, but he's all over the place. He's on the keyboard. He actually shows up over on the drum set. He's just doing his thing. I read this fantastic blog post by this guy named Morgan Richter, and he actually, I think, wrote a book, but he has a blog. When he talks about Duran Duran videos, he calls it Duranalysis. He goes on about how Roger Taylor is probably the only one in the band who was concerned about having this live flying animal on the side of their video. He's like the kind of straight-laced and more sensible one out of the rest of them. Mm-hmm. The rest of them think it's great fun. There's a shot, and he has a picture of it on his page. The bird actually pecks at Nick Rhodes' hand. He
oh, really?
Yeah, he has his beak and he pokes him. But apparently Nick Rhodes was fine with that. He is smiling and everything. It's like, okay.
He liked the bird.
Yeah, I guess he didn't mind. Roger had a good point about, you've got this live animal maybe with feathers and droppings and things and on the set, is this going to be an issue? But they didn't care. So random. It's like, why is there a bird here?
Yeah, I know, really.
It's not like they're pirates.
The bird is real colorful, like the dresses of the flamenco dancers, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So it's just supposed to connect to that, I guess.
Maybe it was a pet.
So this, like we said, is basically a performance video, but it's more interesting to watch than a lot of performance videos, and I think that's probably because of the influence of the director.
Yeah, Russell Mulcahy.
Who would be hard-pressed, I would think, to make a video that wasn't interesting to watch on some level.
Yeah, I agree.
He's very visually talented.
Yeah, there's a lot, the split screen kind of thing going on here, but it's not too bad. It's not too cheesy. I've seen a lot worse. So he does do some good cuts, and the glitter battle between the two flamenco dancers.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
That's a lot of fun to watch, just glitter everywhere. Yeah, I mean, it's
They're probably still cleaning that up today.
Yeah, probably. You can never get rid of glitter. Yeah, so, it's a pretty fun video. And of course, they use the disco version, so it's just like, oh my gosh, it's just like chaotic to watch it, but it's fun.
All right, so that is a wrap on track number 2, My Own Way. And what's that bring us up to now?
Number 3, Lonely in Your Nightmare.
I'll be your home and angel, I'll be in your head. Because you're lonely in your nightmare, let me in. And there's heat beneath your winter, let me in.
Well, this was not released. This was not a single. And so I don't have any cool reviews or really cool facts about where it charted in the different countries because it didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't chart anywhere.
Nope. There is a video for it, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
There is a video. This is a nice, moody, atmospheric track. And I don't know why, for my entire life, knowing this chorus, anytime I hear it, I hear bits of the Beatles song Run for Your Life.
You better run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl. Catch you with another man, that's the end, little girl.
The chorus of that song in there.
Really?
And I can't figure out exactly why. I was trying to listen to it and figure it out, but the Beatles song goes, see you with another man, that's the end, little girl.
Uh-huh.
And for some reason, that little part of that song with the harmonies in it and stuff make me think of the chorus of this song.
Okay. I think I can see where you're coming from with that. I can hear that.
It's always driven me crazy because I don't think they're copying the melody. I think it's just similar
Maybe
harmonies
the
or
chords
something.
and stuff. Yeah,
I don't know.
I'll have to look that up on Chordify and see if there's a similarity in the patterns and the chord patterns. Yeah, but I think this is a beautiful song. I saw one website where people were calling it a ballad, and I'm sorry, but it's too fast to be a ballad. It's a nice, tender song, but it's not a ballad. I think ballads are slow, so it's kind of mid-tempo. It's certainly slower than the last one we heard.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just lovely. I really love the atmospheric keyboards in here that kind of help set that dreamlike mood. And the bass in here, some of it I would call drowsy bass because it's just kind of this woo sound. And it just sounds kind of like it's sleepy.
I think this is the low point of John Taylor's bass work on this album. I really do not like the bass in the verses, the stuff you're talking about right there, the sleepy bass. I wrote something like I don't understand the bass that John's playing in the verse. It just pops out of nowhere and forces itself right up against the vocals, making a sound like a sea lion. I find it really distracting. Here, I isolated a little bit of it.
Okay.
Empty promise means empty hand. The soldiers coming home like shadows turning red.
Or maybe it sounds like whale calls or something. But I don't know.
Marine life
I'm
of
like,
some sort.
what am I? Is that the bass? Is that what? It just sounds like a moan.
It's very different. And it's not at all like what we're used to hearing from John Taylor.
Yeah, and part of that is because this is the first time on record that he has played anything on a fretless bass.
Oh.
So, see, he really admired the bass player from the group Japan, whose name was Mick Karn.
Yeah.
And he was known for playing fretless bass.
And this is something that we didn't discuss in the making of part of the album, but they were also in the studio at the same time. Japan was. They were in the same studio as Duran Duran when they were recording. So maybe he borrowed the bass even.
Maybe, but he was interested in doing it, but he held off for a long time because he thought it was very challenging. He thought it was more of like a fretless bass was more like classical music, and he might not be able to do it. So for the verses, he's actually playing the bass twice. He's playing it on the fretless bass, and then on his regular bass, the Area 1200, and then he overdubs them.
Oh, wow.
He had just actually gotten that. This is just a little FYI, that Area 1200 bass, it had just been given to him right before they went into the studio for this record by the Japanese company that makes it.
Wow.
Because he had a deal with them to advertise their products. So they would, use pictures of him playing their bass in magazines, and they gave him like their newest guitars to play.
Yeah,
so
latest and greatest.
On the first album, he had been using the 600 model. For this one, they gave him the 1200.
Wow. I would think that might be a little bit tough. He just got this and now he's got to get used to it. And I'm sure there's a little bit of different feel to it and different sound, and got to figure out how to get what he want out of it in a short amount of time.
He's a pro.
Well, I guess he is.
But the chorus is entirely fretless. He says the instrument actually has greater melodic possibilities since there are so many notes in between the notes, as it were. So he liked using it, and I like it in the chorus, but I just do not like the verses.
I don't know. I know why you don't like it, and I can appreciate it because it's very weird. I don't find it intrusive. Like I said, I think it adds an interesting atmosphere. It does kind of sound watery, kind of like water.
Yeah.
And with the airy keyboards we get, it's kind of just like you're out on a boat or something. So I'm okay with that.
I like the synth sounds, the keyboards here. It sounds like he being Nick is using like more organic sounds than what he's been using on the first two tracks.
Well, certainly in the chorus, that piano, which I'm sure is not a real piano.
Right.
I love that piano. It's got a real low sound to it, but it doesn't sound ominous. Could easily sound, kind of foreboding, but it does not hear it. And it just has a really lovely sound.
I like that sound a lot too. I can picture like the Sisters of Mercy using it. It's similar to the sound maybe on More or something.
Maybe.
Because
Yeah.
whenever I hear it, it makes me think of them.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But I think Nick is being extremely tasteful with this song, with his sounds.
Yeah,
I think he's doing a really good job.
It's restrained, I think.
Yes.
And I say that about Simon's vocals as well.
Oh, yeah. I think that these are Simon's best vocals on the album right here.
They're very nice. They go into the lower range, kind of. You know, some of this is he's singing lower than he does in a lot of other songs, and he does it very well. And I think it comes across really well, and it adds, again, that nice atmosphere to the song.
My notes say that it drops into a lower, sexier register.
Oh, sexier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I love, love, love the layered harmonies in the chorus.
Oh, that chorus is awesome.
So beautiful. That, you know, that's one thing Duran Duran is known for and is so good at, is their layered or stacked harmonies. And it's all, I guess, mostly Simon on top of his own voice, but I love it. It's just, it's so recognizable, and it just has a really nice sound.
Yeah, that chorus is awesome. And another thing that makes it so awesome is the percussion behind those
Oh,
harmonies.
yeah.
They're really fast, like...
Yeah, those really fast light drums. I didn't know what they were called. But they're really fast, and you'd think that would kind of be disconcerting to have such a different sound behind all this other kind of slow, moody stuff.
But it sounds really good.
It works really well. They know what they're doing.
So I say Simon's best vocal on the album, and that chorus is one of the high points of the album.
Definitely. I would agree there.
Because we haven't mentioned him, let me just say that Andy's guitar work on this song is very, very nice. He's doing a much more melodic kind of fingerstyle picking,
right.
and not just playing chords like he has been doing in the first two songs.
Yeah, you're right.
And he picks a great sound for it, and it just really helps this song get that atmosphere that you say you enjoy so much. I think a lot of that comes from the sound he's getting on his guitar mixing with those keyboards.
Yeah. I mean, the whole song is, well, the whole album is well produced, and they do a great job of deciding what sounds work best with the other sounds that they're putting together.
Yeah.
So I like these lyrics. They're pretty easy to figure out, I would say, unlike some other songs that Simon writes. But this song definitely is about a person who has their defenses up, probably due to past traumas or heartbreak or something like that. And the singer is asking them to let their guard down and let the singer help them, help them get through this hard time, or help them kind of become more vulnerable and just warm to them. So I really like that.
It's a nice sentiment. It's a sentiment that kind of gets lost in the video when it comes off as a little more pervish.
Yeah.
But if you take it at face value of the lyrics, I think you're pretty close.
Yeah. I mean, lonely in your nightmare, let me in. It's like this person's having bad dreams. Let me help you get through those bad dreams.
Right.
Heat beneath your winter. I know your icy cold defenses are hiding a warm person. Just let me help you. I'll be there for you.
Mm-hmm. I like that. And I have 3 Simon Le Bon lyrics in this one that I liked.
All right.
3 lyrics only Simon would write.
Okay.
Even on the darkest night when empty promise means empty hand and soldiers coming home like shadows turning red.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
I'm like, ooh, that sounds cool. What does it mean?
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure.
I also liked, I see the delta traces living lonely out on the limb.
Wow. I don't know what.
I can barely even say that with the alliteration. How did he sing it?
I don't know.
It's like a tongue twister.
Yeah.
And then I put down at the number 3, Simon Le Bon lyric, come on, show me all the light and shade that made your name.
Oh, yeah. I really like that line because it's, it's showing that everybody has light and dark parts, and like, don't be afraid to show me the dark parts too. I can take it.
Right.
That's part of who you are. I love it.
And any other lyricist would just say, let me see your dark side.
Yeah.
And Simon says, let me see the light and shade that made your name.
Yeah. It's very, very poetic and very lovely.
So even though this wasn't a single, there's a video for it.
Yeah. And in fact, there's actually 2 versions of this video.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so it's unusual, but they recognized how important videos were, and they just had this idea that they were going to make a video album, so they were filming extra stuff at the time. This was filmed in Sri Lanka. It was, again, directed by Russell Mulcahy, and this and a couple other videos were filmed all at the same time, and it was while they were on their way to go tour Australia. We talked about before for Rio how it was released so early because they were going over to Australia. They toured Australia in April, and they actually filmed these videos on their way there.
That's right. And I intentionally, in the last song, said that I would be hard-pressed to believe that Russell Mulcahy would be able to make a boring video because he's so visually striking as a director. This is a really boring video.
the one that was released to MTV in 1982, it is really not. I read a little review of it where it says, it's almost farcically repetitive and mind-numbingly dull.
Oh, yes. That's a great description.
Yeah.
It's the first video that I can remember seeing by Duran Duran that actually bored me. Although today I was watching some other ones, and All She Wants is kind of boring as well.
Okay.
But this one is the first one.
Yeah.
And definitely not one of their better efforts.
No.
Simon, thank you for taking off that red headband from the last video, but unfortunately, he traded it in for a big long red scarf.
Yeah, he got a scarf around his neck. So maybe it was like the headband. He cut part of the scarf off and used it as a headband. I don't know.
Maybe.
Whatever. But most of this video focuses on this woman played by Vanya Seeger. And she's just kind of like on this bed and she's writhing around on it and she's just tossing and turning. I guess she's lonely in her nightmare.
She is. Yep.
Like really lonely in her nightmare. But there's scenes of her and Simon doing things. There's scenes of tribal people dancing and
then Simon comes in and he sings the chorus like right next to her face
Yeah.
when she's asleep in bed.
yeah.
Seems kind of like perverted.
Yeah, a little creepy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to sing right to you right here. Yeah, definitely not their best effort.
And I really don't understand her. I find that even in the hottest of sleeping conditions,
Yeah.
I still need a sheet.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't buy it that she's laying in that bed without any covers at all.
Yeah,
Just
I know.
writhing around in
Well,
her lingerie.
We wouldn't have been able to see her really sexy body then if she had a sheet on, you know.
Yeah, I
You know?
understand.
I guess.
I know why they did it.
Yeah, it's not very practical.
Now, I'm making
So-
fun of Simon for his red scarf and
Yeah.
everything. And part of this video, he actually looks more boring than I've ever seen him look before.
Yeah.
He's wearing like a very plain tan suit that with a white shirt and tan tie. It kind of reminds me of that time that President Obama wore the tan suit.
Yeah,
That
and he-
everybody was in an uproar about.
Yeah. And well, I mean, it's kind of similar. The suit is similar to what he wore in Rio. It's just that he's not wearing a bright blue shirt underneath it. So it just kind of tones it down and makes it much more drab.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah.
It's also sort of annoying just every time the chorus comes around.
Yeah.
Simon becomes the close talker from Seinfeld. Like
Yeah.
he has to be right up against her
Yeah.
face when he's singing.
Whether
the-
he's standing there next to her and saying it in her face or he's leaning over her creepily in bed. Yeah. It's like, let me in. Like, that's not good. That's not a good, that's not a good look there in the video for him to be saying, let me in, like when he's right there.
I know.
Give her a little space.
Yeah. It's almost like a horror movie.
Yeah. Luckily, there is another version of this video, which I believe that's the second one is the one that they ended up putting on their video album.
Yeah, that's right.
So they do use some of the same footage. We do see the woman writhing around on the bed. We see, some of the same shots. They're in different order, but we also get this framing device, which is black and white. It was set in London and obviously filmed at a different time. The guys have different hairstyles and stuff.
Right.
But it kind of adds a little more interest and breaks up the whole writhing in bed thing.
Yeah, it's still an amazingly average video
Yeah, it's still
at best.
Yeah,
But it's more tolerable than that original.
yeah,
edit.
yeah,
You get some black and white footage of Simon looking pretty cool and wearing
Yeah.
a black leather jacket and kind of looking out a window.
yeah. Right, staring moodily out a window. I think sort of like Morton Harkett did in a couple of videos we
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this is not really one of their best videos. It's an excellent song, a great album cut
Yeah.
that I was surprised that it wasn't a single somewhere in the world. I thought that I was going to discover that it was released
Yeah.
somewhere,
right.
but it was not.
No, and it could have been. I mean, it's,
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I think this would have done well. Really had the potential. It was a nice song.
Yeah.
Let's talk about an even nicer song.
It probably would have done well, but would it have done as well as Hungry Like the Wolf?
Dark in the city, night is a wire. Steam in the subway, earth is a fire. Woman, you want me, give me a sign. And catch my breathing even closer behind.
I think that laugh at the beginning that you played
Yeah.
is probably your answer. No, this song still would have done
Would
better.
have done better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that. So this was the second single taken from the album, released in the UK in May of 1982 and peaked at number 5, going on to receive a silver certification
Oh, how nice.
from the British recording industry, and that is for sales of over 200,000.
Very well done. And yeah, it was on the charts for, I think, 12 weeks. And because it was released around the same time as the album itself, it did help the album to go to number 2. Then in the US, it was released in June of 1982.
And failed to chart.
Indeed it did. Womp womp. So they did what they've been doing with all these songs. And in fact, this was kind of the song, like the breakthrough song, the one that they worked so hard on to get in America.
Right.
And this was re-released in the United States in December of 1982. Of course, that was the Kirschenbaum mix. And it was their first hit in America. Woo!
Right, so this came out after the Carnival
Right.
EP and after MTV had started playing the video.
Oh, yeah. They played the heck out of this video. The video executives at MTV loved it. They never saw anything like it. They thought it was amazing. And they played it like 4 times a day. And I'm not even exaggerating. They
I
just
know.
played
I
it
know.
all the time. So it definitely got people's attention, and then they wanted to hear it on the radio, and then they got buying it. And so, yeah, it was just this whole spiral, and it was really MTV, and it was really the video that did it.
That's right. So the single was re-released in December, like you said. It peaked at number 3 in March.
Yes,
So it took about 3 months.
it did.
It ended up being on the chart for 23 weeks and was certified gold a long time later in 1993,
Oh, my gosh.
according to what I
Like
read.
10 years later?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Maybe it was a typo now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe it should have said 83
Yeah.
because it does say, why would you wait 10, 11 years to certify something?
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. That was actually the third release of the single.
Yeah.
I saw a couple sites say 2, and I
yeah.
saw a couple say 3.
Right.
And I couldn't nail down the real second release to a time period. But John does say in his book, Hungry Like the Wolf had been serviced to the powerful FM stations in the U.S. a second time, but still to no avail.
Okay.
So it must have been 3 times.
Yeah, I did see that too, but I never got all the actual dates and
Yeah,
times
I couldn't
and
find
stuff.
that second date.
Yeah, and it did well in other charts. It was number 36 on the Hot Dance Club play, which isn't wonderful, but
That was very surprising to me.
yeah, I know.
I don't understand how this doesn't make the top 5 for dance clubs.
It does seem very danceable.
That's weird.
What is maybe even more interesting is that it got to number 1 on the top rock charts.
That's right.
Yeah, that was very strange. It's a rockin' song, but it's not like, heavy metal or anything.
No, right. We've talked about songs over the course of our podcast, though, that charted on that
Yeah,
rock chart,
yeah.
and we don't think
Yeah.
of them as rock.
No.
I think like Flock of Seagulls, I think we mentioned one of their songs kind of charting on that rock
Oh,
chart.
that's right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, the week that this song got to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, man, I looked at the top 5 that week. It was really impressive. It was a good week for music.
Oh, what was it?
Well, number 1 was Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, which was in its 6th week at number 1.
Wow.
That's why a lot of things kind of stalled at 2 and 3 and 4, because Michael Jackson was just a juggernaut at that point.
Right.
Number 2 was Do You Really Want to Hurt Me by Culture Club.
The Boy.
Yeah. Number 3 was Hungry Like the Wolf. Number 4 was one of my personal favorites, Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Nice.
And number 5, Mr. Roboto by Styx.
Oh, Mr. Roboto.
Yeah, I knew you'd like that one.
One of my favorite songs.
Yes.
Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
I'm just a man who needed someone and someone to hide to keep me alive. Just keep me alive. Somewhere to hide to keep me alive. I'm not a robot without emotions. I'm not what you see. I've come to help you.
So it was a good week for music that week in America.
That is great.
Now, how did it do in other countries? In Canada, Hungry Like the Wolf went to number 1.
Number 1, yep.
Yeah, so that was really good. And it also went to number 4 in Ireland, New Zealand, and South Africa. And Australia, it hit number 5.
That's right.
So that was pretty good. And it made a couple of year-end charts. It's interesting. It made the 1982 year-end chart in New Zealand, where it was number 49. And it made the 1983 year-end charts in Canada and America. In Canada, since it did so well, it ended up number 10 for the year. And in the U.S., it was number 17, which is respectable.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So I have a review.
Oh, good. So do I.
I think it's from the time of release. I'm not really sure. It's from the New York Times.
Oh, cool.
And they said that Hungry Like the Wolf puts an oblique, sometimes apocalyptic spin on pop romance in the verses, but keeps the chorus clear and catchy, never disguising their pop intentions.
Nice. I like it. Yeah, that sounds like it's probably from back in the day. Why wouldn't it be? Well, I've got one from our buddy, Dave Rimmer.
Oh,
David
lay it on
Rimmer.
me, Dave.
Yep, David Rimmer.
Tell me why you don't like it, Dave.
How did you guess? So this is from Smash Hits from May 13th, 1982. And he starts off, I've never been a great fan of Mr. LeBon and the Many Tailors, but this seems curiously lifeless even by their own standards.
Oh my God.
I know. The wolf of the title appears to be a character who hunts women. Charming. So that's all,
it?
That's all he says. Yeah, he has no time for them.
Ugh.
Yeah, I did find another review. I think I mentioned thoughtco.com in our previous episode.
Okay.
And of course, this is a more recent one. I really like what they say here. For many music fans of the 80s, this lively and melodic mid-tempo rocker served as their introduction to Duran Duran, the new generation's British import of the moment. And then they go on to say, Andy Taylor's guitar and Nick Rhodes' keyboards work in tandem to create a unique atmosphere that maximizes solid songwriting. That just kind of encapsulates the whole album, really.
Yeah, true.
But
True.
yeah, I like that it was very referring to this particular song.
And my favorite new website, now that I'm trying to deny my age, I'm trying to do a Peter Pan complex.
Yeah.
Theyoungfolks.com.
Yeah.
They say, Hungry Like the Wolf is an amazing song. 3 minutes of pop perfection with an amazing vocal line, wonderful backing vocals, a beautiful 30 seconds in the final chorus, and the dumbest lyrics known to man. What on earth does I smell like I sound even mean to begin with? The bit before the final chorus where LeBon whispers, hungry like the wolf, over the sound of heavy breathing is also hilariously silly, and that's the point. Duran Duran knows it sounds silly. Why else would they do it? This is a beautifully silly song that they play 100% straight, and that makes it all the better.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, I really like their
Yeah,
review.
I like the way they kind of call him out on stuff, but they give him a pass anyway.
Yep. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
we
that.
know it's silly. That's okay. We love it.
So this is, of course, a classic song, probably one of the most classic songs, if not the most classic song we have talked about on our podcast. I don't know. The only thing that probably comes close is Rio
Yeah,
that we talked about last week.
that's probably true.
And I'm going to make that same claim when we talk about the video.
Okay. Yeah, I think you've got a good argument there. Gosh, right from the beginning, we get those great percolating keyboards.
It's got to be that same.
I was going to say, do you think it's the arpeggiator
Yeah, it's
being
got-
used again?
I assume it is.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
think
see
so.
anyone talk about it, but it sounds the same, like the same sort of thing.
That was my impression as well. And again, I think, oh my gosh, Vince Clarke would love these and he could do this. And
Yep. And once again, it mixes really well with the electric guitar in this song.
Right,
Just like in
right.
Rio, that sound mixed really well with the guitar.
yeah, it's a really strong guitar and it does blend really well with those percolating keyboards. There's some other really great keyboards in here that kind of have like a phased effect, that kind of, I like that too. Let's talk about the drums. Oh my gosh, so many fantastic drum fill-ins in this song. I love them. I love them.
Yeah, one of the high points of the song, I think there's two things I've said that make the song so good, and one of them is the drums. It's that very dramatic drum and guitar crashing
Yeah.
in the chorus.
Right.
Mouth is alive, juices like wine.
There are several instances throughout this song where he hits those drums really hard.
He sure does.
It's a stupid thing to say, but you know what I mean. And it's hard to just point out exactly. I'm not going to go through minute and second where they were. You just know.
Oh, yeah. I also think that the part of the reason that the song is so well loved and so catchy is the vocal, the do.
Oh,
that
I
vocal.
know.
It instantly makes the song interactive with an audience anywhere in the world because
right.
everybody can sing along.
That's right.
And
yeah.
it is catchy
Yeah.
regardless, but that was, I think, an important part of the appeal of this track.
That's a good point because it is something everyone can sing. Everyone can sing do. And it's repeated throughout the whole verse. So it's not just like a one-time thing. You get the
Right.
chance to learn it and know it and repeat it. And yeah, there it is.
Yep, and you go see him in concert and you have a part even if you don't speak the language.
That's right. And he got that from another song. Simon did.
Really?
Yes, he did. Found that out in my research. That is taken from a Gordon Lightfoot song, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the song If You Could Read My Mind.
Oh, I remember that song.
Yeah, it's from like 1971, I think.
I like that one.
Let's see. Do you have a sample of it so we can hear that part of the song that they've kind of copied, the melody of the do-do-do's?
Read that book again because the ending's just too hard to take. I'd walk away like a movie star.
The phrasing is a little different, but I think you can hear the melody is the same.
Right, and we're talking about the melody that sounds like strings there.
Do, 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 do. They just kind of slowed it down in the Hungry Like the Wolf song, but it's the same. And Simon confessed as much in VH1 Storytellers. He mentioned that there were 2 songs that he wrote that on this album were inspired by Gordon Lightfoot's If You Could Read My Mind. So this is the first one,
Oh, okay, cool.
and the second one will be later.
Oh, interesting. We didn't talk about John Taylor on this song.
No, we didn't.
This is the first song on the record that John just doesn't like grab my attention, like for good or bad. Mm-hmm. He's doing a solid job. He's doing a good solid job. I think he's just letting the other components of the song have their moment. He's basically the only thing being subtle in this song.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not doing any of a slap
No
bass
slap
and-
bass in here. No.
and not really drawing attention to himself. And it sounds great, like I said, but it's just, I was surprised.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm looking through my notes. I have from an interview that he did with the AV Club, and he's talking about this song and how, how important the video was and how easy this song came together. He said it was written very quickly. It was a Saturday afternoon. Nick and Andy were messing around. Andy had the riff. Nick developed the sequence. Simon had a thing. Roger came in. So it sounds like the way he's describing it, that he was kind of like the last man. He says, I came in and they'd been working for maybe 2 hours and I just knew exactly what to play. Yeah, so he was like the last man involved, and that may be why it sounds the way it does. Because he was just kind of like almost an afterthought.
He told a similar story on complex.com, and at the end he just said, what's the song lyrically about? I don't really know. Simon likes animal metaphors. I think it was kind of like, to me, it was he wanted to have sex with someone.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, Simon has said that he got the idea from the song from the Little Red Riding Hood fairy tale.
I did see this is kind of like on another statement on the ease of the songwriting for this one. John said, having spent so many years subsequently trying to achieve that level of inspiration, all I can say is that when you have it, it's just like the universe being aligned. You can't really explain it. It's just about energies being in harmony and everyone being inspired.
Yeah. Yeah, he said some similar things about it in the interview with AV Club. He said, it's interesting when you're at that time in your career when you just don't have to think twice about anything,
Right.
I guess you're always striving to get back to that. It's that combination of confidence and naivete, actually. So, it's right. This sounds good. Let's do it. Let's go for it. You're no fear. Yeah. And then as you get older, he says, you start thinking, and then the press and the media have said so much about you that you become self-conscious and it becomes more difficult. And yeah, I think that's what leads to Seven and the Ragged Tiger. So anyway, this song, everything came together really quickly, really well, and it was well received because of that.
Sure was. And it was, of course, featuring the 5 members of the band and Nick's girlfriend.
Yes.
Who appears on the track. She does the laugh at the beginning.
Yeah.
And she also does the moaning at the end.
Oh, okay. Yep. Very nice.
So I think a lot of Duranis seem to be tired of the song reading around on the internet.
Yeah.
That kind of surprised me.
I know.
Maybe even just a lot of pop music listeners are tired of it too, but I never grew weary of this song.
No.
I never skip it when I play the CD.
No.
I never turn it off if it comes on the radio.
No.
To me, this is a great song that you can listen to over and over again. I think it's timeless, and it's easily going to outlive all of us.
I agree. Yeah. I don't have any problems with this song as far as it being overplayed. We have talked about songs where we felt that they were overplayed.
Oh, yeah.
I know that this song was all over MTV, and I know this song was all over back in the day. I don't hear it enough now, and I don't think I even heard it enough back then to say that it ever, wore out its welcome for me.
Yeah, I think it's the very definition of a classic. And I know I get excited every time we see them live. I want them to do this song.
Oh, yeah. And it's a great concert song, as we've discussed, because it's got the doo-doo-doos you can sing along to.
Yes, that's right.
I will say that's one thing you can easily sing along to, but I think that there are other parts of this song that are very hard to sing along to because you don't know what Simon's actually saying. I've never been able to understand all the words. Maybe because a lot of the phrases are not necessarily things that you would think to put together in your head.
Maybe.
To me, there's just some weird things that I'm like, what is he saying there? I don't know.
Well, speaking of his lyrics, I have only one lyric isolated as a lyric only Simon would write.
Okay.
And that is the very brief, straddle the line in discord and rhyme.
Oh, good. Yeah. So he does say straddle the line. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I thought. And then somewhere I saw it was written strut on a line.
He does say that as well.
Oh, he says them both. Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's good. Then I'm not hearing things wrong or reading things wrong.
No, you're not.
He both straddles a line and he also struts on it. Okay.
Yep, he's
Very multifunctional.
ambidextrous. So what about the video?
Oh my gosh. What about this video? The video that broke them in America.
When you say it's the video, you could actually stop right there. This is the video, in my opinion.
You're right.
Like I said earlier, the only video that may be more iconic and more representative of the decade would be Rio. It's either this or Rio.
Okay.
And just personal preference, I like this one better.
Okay.
So when you said the video,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to stop right there.
I could have, I guess, but I didn't. It's amazing. It's legendary. It won an award. The
very first.
That's right. The first Grammy Award for Best Short Form Video was given at the 1984 ceremony. It was given to Duran Duran as a joint award for, it was actually combined. I'm not sure why they did this, but it was Hungry Like the Wolf together with Girls on Film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was very well received.
It was well received because it is an amazingly good clip. And I loved it back in 83 because I'm sure I didn't ever see it in 82. I probably may not have even seen it in 83 based on the fact that I didn't have MTV and, you know, just had to watch Friday night videos and things like that. But
Right.
I probably saw it in 83, I guess. And it was one that I always enjoyed seeing because you kind of get footage of the band exploring like an exciting foreign city.
Oh, yeah.
And then the part that I really liked was Simon having a bit of a low-budget Indiana Jones adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the time, I was really into Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was my favorite movie. And then you get a number of sexy women just grabbing the band off the street and planting kisses on them.
Yeah, yeah. That's a terrible thing, isn't it?
Jolly good. It's a jolly good thing. I think John Taylor gets grabbed and kissed by 2 different women in this video.
Yeah, I think so, too.
He's just standing out in the street kissing them.
Yeah, you know, that's actually not so far removed from what they're probably going through in real life anyway.
Oh,
So
true. As a kid, I was always kind of taken aback by when Simon gets up from the table and starts walking down he's like walking right at the camera.
Yeah.
He has the hat on.
Yeah.
His hair was so yellow. And I'm
Well,
like,
yeah.
that guy's hair is so yellow. And little did I know that if he had taken off the hat, his hair was a disaster.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, he's wearing that hat for a reason. I think it was the night before. Who does this? Like, why would he think this was a good idea? He's
Yeah, that
in
was
Sri
weird.
Lanka, and he went to get his hair done. He went to get highlights in his hair. And imagine this, it turned out terrible.
Turned to orange.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can see in the first chorus when he's going through the market, and you can see this terrible color of hair sticking out of the hat. I guess, I don't know what they did. I don't know the timing of the film, like filming of the rest of the scenes, because most of the rest of the video, he looks okay. His hair is all right. And in fact, we see him headless. Or
Headless. Oh, my God.
we see him hatless.
Holy cow. It's just in time for Halloween.
Hatless Simon. Oh, no.
Yeah.
We see him hatless in many scenes, especially in wasn't he in the river without a hat?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, and his hair is like normal, brown, whatever.
The whole timeline of, not just the timeline of when things were filmed is
Yeah.
hard to tell. The timeline of the video itself
Oh,
is
sure.
really hard to follow.
It is. Yeah, it really doesn't make much sense. It's very hard to understand what's happening what's a flashback, what's current, or does it even matter?
Yeah. And one of the things that doesn't matter, and one of the things as an adult that I wish wasn't in the video, was like one of my favorite parts of it as a kid.
Oh, yeah?
When he stood up and flipped that table.
Oh, yeah.
For whatever reason, I can't even explain why, that made like a huge impact on me. The fact that this guy flipped the table.
Oh, yeah?
And they filmed it in like dramatic slow motion. Because to this day, I still oftentimes do this thing where I act like I'm flipping the
Oh,
table.
yeah.
This is why I do it, because I thought it looked awesome in this video.
Oh, I didn't know that's why you did it.
And I'm like, I'm going to flip this table.
Yeah.
But he flips the table, but then every time they cut back to the bar, the table's always still there.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
It is strange. And I don't know why he flipped the table. Like, he's by himself. It's not like he's having a fight with anybody.
No, he was by himself except for at the very beginning. Another thing that I had a little bit of a problem with in the very beginning, right
Yeah.
before he sings the first line of the verse.
Yeah.
There's a guy standing in front of the table who's like evidently trying to sell him this little monkey.
Oh, okay.
And the monkey reminds me of the monkey that's in Raiders of the Lost Ark that was actually a Nazi spy.
Oh.
But was like hanging out with Indy, was comforting Indy after he thought Marion was dead.
Okay.
And the monkey ultimately eats a poisoned date and dies.
Oh, no.
But I always thought that monkey was awesome. And he kind of looks like the monkey that was on the TV show Friends.
That's what I was thinking. He looks like Marcel.
It's that kind of monkey.
Yeah.
Whatever you call those. And so Simon could have had a monkey like that, but he
No.
disgustedly told the guy to take a hike, and then he started singing. It's like, big mistake. Should have got that monkey.
Yeah. Nick probably would have taken the monkey.
Yeah, you like that bird.
That's right.
Chomping on his hands.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I told you about Morgan Richter and his Duran analysis.
Yeah.
And he has some great things to say about this video. He says, upon close scrutiny, this is not one of Duran Duran's more complex videos. No Afro-Caribbean zombies, no post-apocalyptic hellscapes, no mutants, no mimes, no lightsaber-wielding soldiers on horseback. It's just about Simon's quest to find a really hot woman. Yeah, that's actually true.
He finds her, but then I don't know if he can even handle her.
I know. Yeah, they kind of get into quite a tussle.
Yeah.
Or whatever that is. Are they fighting?
Yeah, they're fighting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wrestling?
Yeah, they're wrestling.
Okay.
He gets clawed.
Yeah. And that's another thing that the timing is really strange because he's clawed and then you see him in the cafe again.
And now he has the claw marks.
Yeah. And when does that happen?
And then his buddies come around the table and they want to hear the story. He's like, hey, let me tell you the story how I got these claw marks.
Yeah.
And then it just deteriorates into guys sitting around talking about their conquests.
Yeah, pretty much.
As it fades.
Yeah, the other guys are in it, but they're not, I don't know. I don't think they play as much of a part. It's a shame.
Yeah, especially Andy and Nick. They're in it even less than John and Roger. I was wondering if they were actually there as much as the other guys.
I'll tell you one thing I did read about the Sri Lanka videos, that Nick was the last one to show up because he was still back in the studio finishing the mixing of the album. And so when he showed up, he had a cassette of the final version of the album with him. So he did miss some of it. And as I understand, he was not too pleased to be in these conditions. And so he was not really having much of it. He was pleased to not be a part of a lot of this nonsense and and these not good conditions for someone who's like a diva.
I see.
Basically.
So the only thing I have left to say about the video, Sarah, is I just wanted to comment on one thing. As a kid, I was always kind of impressed by the kid in the video. I was a kid, but the kid was the guy on his bicycle who John and Roger run up to and show him the photograph.
Yeah, they were questioning him.
Yeah, I always used to think that kid's a really good actor. He's doing a great job.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching it as an adult and I'm seeing some things online and I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe he wasn't even acting. Maybe they just filmed them accosting this kid who didn't understand.
Yeah.
John's waving a picture in his face.
Yeah.
Now I'm not even sure if that kid's acting.
Yeah, he might have truly been a little bit intimidated and frightened by these big white Englishmen that are coming at him with weird makeup and hair and getting in his face.
I know.
Not exactly something he's used to.
So if anybody knows if that kid has a SAG card or if he went on to star in any movies, let me know because my whole life I've thought he was a great actor and I would like that to still be true.
Well, is he the same one that we see later on where he's wiping Simon's face with the wet rag and squeezes water into his mouth?
I don't know, but I can't even watch that scene anymore. That water has got to be so gross. I know.
So Simon was a really good sport in this video. That was the one thing that creeped me out, that, this dirty rag that the kid's wiping on his face and then he's wrings it out into his mouth and he's right there. He's drinking it, I guess.
I know. And we're going to talk next time. We're going to talk about someone who gets really sick from the water.
Correct. Here. But in addition to that, and this is why I can't believe he didn't get sick, but Simon's wading through that river at one point, and I'm pretty sure that's a real river.
Looked like it.
I don't think they made it, soundstage or anything. He's in that water, and who knows what else is in that water.
Ugh, I'm getting queasy.
I know. He was really committed. Simon, of all of them, was the most interested in acting and being in the movie and being in the video. Morton Richter says, well, he's a big old ham. Which is probably true. We see some things where he is kind of hamming it up, but he does commit to the part for sure. So something I found really interesting, I was doing my research, was that Burger King has always, always, always wanted to use this song in an ad campaign. They've seemed ever since the song came out, apparently they've been really interested in this. And I think this was documented in an issue of Blender magazine, which is now defunct and I can't get to it online. But they kind of got their wish in 2012 when in the United Kingdom, they brought out a lamb flatbread.
Ooh.
New kind of fancy sandwich. And they decided to use the phrase hungry like the wolf to promote this lamb flatbread.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. So I looked for the commercial to see if there was a commercial for it, and there was. They didn't actually use the song. They just used the phrase, hungry like the wolf. And it's a very interesting commercial where these two people are on a date and they go to Burger King because, woo-woo. And the guy is eating his sandwich and he starts turning into a werewolf as he's eating it. Yeah. And the girl is kind of like very nonchalant about it, trying not to like lose her cool. And she's just like, oh, you have a little something on your chin. It's weird. It's I don't know how well it did. And I don't know if the sandwich is still around or anything, but they kind of got their wish.
How could the corporate entity of Burger King be interested for like 30 years in getting the song? Like I can understand like if in 83 there was somebody who was the president of the company that really liked it and wanted to, but you'd think by the time we hit 2000, that guy would not be working there anymore.
I know. I'd love to know what this fascination was with this song.
Yeah.
And them insisting on finding a place for it in their advertising campaigns. But they did. So I said that song wasn't actually in the commercial. However, this song was in a commercial a few years before that. Still pretty recent, as all things considered. In 2007, there was an Old Spice commercial here in the United States featuring good old Bruce Campbell.
Oh, star of The Evil Dead.
Yeah. And he is sitting at a grand piano called Ahoy. The piano is called Ahoy because, Old Spice is like a very nautical themed product and they sometimes use these crazy phrases. And he's in this room surrounded by all these beautiful women and he's playing the piano and he's singing in a very lounge lizardy way, Hungry Like the Wolf.
In touch with the ground, I'm on the hunt, I'm after you. Smell like a sound, I'm lost in a crowd, and I'm hungry like the wolf.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So it's amazing just hearing it. You got to go look at the video too. We'll post the link to that as well.
He's so crazy.
He's incredible. I saw a lot of the comments on the YouTube video that, oh yeah, that's just like a normal Tuesday night at Bruce Campbell's house.
I believe it.
Yeah, come on. That was just filmed because they just did it and wasn't fake at all. It might be true. So yeah, it's interesting that they decided to use that song for promoting aftershave. I don't know why.
Well, it works pretty well.
Yeah.
Everyone likes the commercial.
Yeah.
All right. So that is a wrap on Hungry Like the Wolf.
Yeah.
And it brings us up to the last song on side one of this record.
Finally. Well, not finally, like I'm ready for it. But here we are.
Here we are.
Song 5.
Song number 5. And this is called Hold Back the Rain. So that was the B-side to Save a Prayer in the UK.
Yeah.
I think here in the US we got a live version of Save a Prayer or something on the B-side, but they got this different song. And this is an interesting song lyrically. It comes from an interesting place.
Correct.
Would you agree?
Yes, I would. It's interesting. I even know exactly, at least if I can believe what I read on the internet, exactly what day it was written. It was written apparently on March 19th, 1982.
2 days after St. Patrick's Day.
That's right. And it, of course, was written by Simon Le Bon. He wrote it because he was getting worried that John was staying out too late and taking too many drugs and drinking too much and going home with the wrong kinds of people.
That's right, because John says in his book that his attitude at the time was, drugs? That's what the Beatles did. That's what the Rolling Stones do. That's what the Clash do. Why wouldn't you want to take drugs?
Yeah. Well, drugs are bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they were on tour at the time. They were out doing their thing. And Simon was observing this behavior. And his typical English fashion, you're not going to address the issue directly. You're going to kind of go around it. And so he wrote this rather somewhat cryptic song, slipped it under John's door, and has said that John never ever said anything to him about it at all.
That's right. He said, I have no idea what he thinks of the lyrics. He's never even mentioned it to me. Never.
Never.
And it would take another 12 years after the song for John to get sober.
True.
So I don't think the song made much of an impact on him.
It could have been that he didn't quite understand that it was about him, because it isn't like, hey, John, you're doing too many drugs. Or,
True.
It is kind of oblique. It's kind of cryptic. I can see where some of the ideas, could come across, but it's not like so pointed that it's like a lecture.
Right.
Which is good, but not good if you're really concerned about your friend and you want to tell them get better. You might need to be a little more direct.
Good point. Has Simon ever sounded like more of a snob than he does in the very first thing he says in the song when he just says the name of the song?
Oh, I don't know, man.
He says, hold back the rain, and he sounds so snobbish to me.
He's got quite a bit of attitude in this song. Let me tell you, that second verse when he is singing, so what if the words aren't rhyming? And like, he just has this attitude. And
So what if the words ain't rhyming? Did you think that it's just a game? I probably didn't even say that right, and I really don't give a damn.
And then he kind of spits out, I really don't give a damn. And yeah, he's got a different kind of delivery than we're hearing from any other song on here. This one, he's just really got, like I said, this attitude that I don't know why.
He's got a fire in his belly.
Yeah, I guess he does. But it's kind of cool.
I just want to say that driving synth sound that
Yes.
kicks off the track.
Yes.
I love that. To me, that sounds years ahead of its time. Like to me, it sounds like it's something that would have been like in the second Tron movie or some kind of newfangled techno CD. Or
Oh yeah, the sound of this song, the atmosphere that this song has, so very different from like Lonely or Nightmare, but it definitely has an atmosphere, and it's galloping and driving and very intense. We've got a lot of great machine gun drum hits, da 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 dum, da 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 dum. The guitar riffs are very powerful and strummy kind of. It's just got a lot of cool stuff.
we're getting a lot of aggressive guitars in
Yes.
here. I guess that kind of goes along with the aggressive vocals that you
Correct.
mentioned.
Yeah, this whole song, actually, I hadn't really put all that together, but it is a kind of an aggressive song. And yet we got those nice phasing atmospheric keyboards, and we've got the oohs in the chorus, which kind of smooth things out and kind of tone it down a little.
Going back to the lyrics,
Sure.
this is probably my least favorite song on the record lyrically. I think the words, however good intention they may be, are just kind of feeble.
Okay.
And even if you take them as, ignore the fact that it's an attempt to help his friend, just take them as lyrics, I think it's one of probably his worst effort on the album. Ultimately, it doesn't matter because it's a great melody and it's easy to ignore the words.
So what if the words aren't rhyming?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I kind of have mixed feelings on that because he's saying it to your face.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? I know this song may not be the best written song, but
Yeah.
I don't care.
But
I don't care.
I can't help but think that it's not.
I don't really give a damn. In fact, he's really like, he's putting it out there. Yeah, I don't care. I'm writing this song. I've done it. I can say I've tried to help my friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we get John, he's back to providing like a groovy bass
Oh
line.
yeah, some great slap bass in here too. Woohoo!
Yep,
Love it.
Makes me happy when he calls a
Yeah.
bit of attention to himself.
Yes.
But for the first time on the record so far, I kind of dislike a synth voice.
Oh, which one?
There's a sound in here I don't like, and it's one that plays during the second verse, I believe.
Okay.
And it's a little too loud in the mix, and it's a little unpleasant sounding. I tried to take that verse out to give you the sound of it.
Okay.
It's in this clip.
I'm guilty just the same. Sometimes you need it badly, so please.
that ba, 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 that kind of
Yeah.
repeating and almost echoey, reverby type
Yeah,
thing.
I don't like that.
Okay.
And when you're playing it loud in your headphones,
Yeah.
it's too loud, and it seems kind of like it's wandering aimlessly, just kind of.
Yeah, just like showing up like randomly. I wonder, there are several versions of this song, of course, and I don't know how that part is portrayed in the, original version or the Carnival remix. Be interesting to know.
This is actually the first case of me liking the Carnival remix much more than the UK album version.
Oh,
This is
okay.
the first time that happens. I'm saying that even with the Carnival mix being way too long, it's like at 6.5 minutes as opposed to like 4 minutes for the song.
Oh yeah, it's
But
really long.
it does get rid of that synth that I dislike. So I do like that Carnival remix.
Fair enough.
This is a great dance track.
Oh yeah.
But when we get to this song, I'm starting to pick up like a sameness to these tracks. For 4 of these songs, we're getting the aggressive guitar, playing crunchy chords, mixing with some close to overpowering keyboards with high energy drumming. And track 3, Lonely in Your Nightmare, is the only break you get from that formula on this side. It's great for dancing and I enjoy the songs, but at this point when I was listening to this song today, it sort of hit me for the first time that they aren't writing songs as diverse as they will go on to write later in their career. I don't dislike this record. I don't dislike side 1. I think it's excellent, but I think that there's a lot of similar sounding things and their bag of tricks is very limited at this point. But the songs are so good, I don't really fault them for it. I don't say it's a bad thing.
Okay. I guess I can understand where you're coming from. I really like this song. I think it's very energetic without being frenetic, and it's got a lot of cool sounds in it. I think it's a great end for side 1. An interesting choice, maybe not toning it down with a slower song. They're still high energy. I do see where you're coming from with the repetitive things. It's like a lot of the same stuff. In fact, I hear a tiny little bit of a guitar riff in here that sounds to me like Hungry Like the Wolf. Do do do. That part, I hear that do 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 in this song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm like, that's the same as Hungry Like the Wolf. So,
I don't want to criticize him too much because I love when Vince Clarke songs sound really Vince Clarke-ish.
yeah.
And there was just somebody recently I said, like, I'm not going to criticize them because they're consistent.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that was.
Like that, to me, usually I like that on an album. I mean, I love, like, we've talked about The Cure, The Head Under the Door, and that's all over the map with different styles. And I kind of like that, but it works. But I also like when everything is consistent, it's following a pattern, and you can tell it's very cohesive. It's not like, oh, well, let's just try this, and just do it for the sake of doing it. They had an idea in mind. They had a sound in mind for this album. It all came together very quickly, very well. So yeah, it's all the same, close to the same, but it gives them that sound. It kind of helps establish them as who they are.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
If this were their first album, we would have really understood who they were. If this were their 4th album, I don't think it would have made it to the 4th album if we didn't get this album, because this is what defines them.
That's true. If this album didn't come at this point in their career, they were never going to record this album.
Right.
That's a good point. The middle of the song brings a section to me that sounds like it's supposed to mirror the midsection of Hungry Like the Wolf.
There you go.
There's some heavy breathing and Simon's just singing the name of the song over top of it.
Right. And like I said, I even hear a little bit of guitar riff that sounds the same.
So an interesting tidbit about this song.
Okay.
2003, the song was brought back into the live rotation when they got back together for Astronaut.
Oh, really?
And John Taylor told popmatters.com, now when we play Hold Back the Rain, there's a feeling of that's what we do, This song is what Duran Duran is all about.
There you go.
So it kind of, I guess, supports that this album was their mission statement, their identification.
Correct.
And then their statement to the world, this is who we are.
Yeah, I think it's true. Say, did you provide us with any lyrics that only Simon would write for this song?
Only one. The only lyric that Simon would write that I found in this one, and if the fires burn out, there's only fire to blame.
Really?
Yep. The rest of it I didn't think seemed very Simonish.
Okay. Yeah.
What part do you think seems Simonish?
No. I'm really like saying really to Simon writing that because if the fires burn out, the fire's to blame? Really?
Well, it's not being put out with water or an extinguisher. It's actually burning out.
Oh, okay.
Although it could be the wood's fault.
Oh, yeah.
The wood didn't endure the fire longer than...
Fire, you just didn't last long enough. It's your fault.
I'm on fire.
I don't know. It's very stupid. Okay. Now we're getting silly.
Hey, so that is side 1.
It is.
Of this album, Rio by Duran Duran.
Yes.
And this has been a great treat to listen to, I think.
Oh, I've really
been enjoying it.
Yep.
Watching these videos has been awesome.
Oh, I know. It is just so fun.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yep. It's a great album, although I don't want to give away what I'm going to give it in the final review. But it is a great album.
Yeah, it is great. Well, again, we kind of already knew it was great, and we knew it was so great that we were worried to talk about it because it's so great.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I think we're doing okay so far.
Hopefully. So we want to thank you for listening. And we just want to remind you, if you like the show and you want to take a few seconds, we'd appreciate a review on iTunes. That always helps us out.
Yep. I'd like to be able to start off our next episode by saying, hey, we got a new review from somewhere.
That would be great. That would be great.
Haven't done that in a while.
And we want to thank again Heath Granis for playing Sarah's little song snippet game.
Yes, thank you, Heath.
We're going to get your post out there on the social media tomorrow. We're also tomorrow, Sarah, we're going to pick the winner for the Summer of Sharing. So by the time you hear this, it will have already happened.
Yeah, and you'll already know who it was, and it'll be all very exciting.
So looking forward to that.
Yes.
So thanks for listening, everybody, and we're going to see you in a week or two to finish up this album. We got 4 more songs, and they're all pretty good, I think.
Yeah. More good discussion to follow, I'm sure.
So thanks for listening, and we will see you next time.